Welcome to the Revelation Podcast. Today, I have a guest with me. We're about to get right into it and dig. We're going to talk a little bit about Nikki. We're going to talk about Bill, talk about Megan, and a couple other things tonight. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
So, jumping right into it tonight, we're going to start off about Nikki. So, how do you feel about Queen Nikki?
Me personally, like
hmm
about her as a person.
About the subject, related to
Oh,
the
okay.
news. You said you had news
I mean,
about Nikki.
I usually don't. Um, the way I feel about it, I usually don't just jump in and take a side. I always
hmm
like to sit and I like to listen. I like to, watch and see how things play out. But from everything that's been coming out, I think it's petty. No pun intended, because no boyfriend or husband is kind of petty, but it's it seems like they're trying to silence her from telling her story just to get him off, to make him look better. And I think that's kind of messed up because this woman is coming out because she's not asking for nobody to give her no money or anything. She didn't even want to be seen. So when she comes out and says she just want to be left alone, and now everybody's dragging everything back up, I think that's kind of messed up. Especially when she's saying that people in Nikki camp trying to pay her off to shut up. I think I seen something earlier. I want to give out no false information, but I think I saw something about they're trying to pay. They put a bounty on her head, or maybe that was just a Barb's thing. But her fans are kind of crazy. So I always thought it was just, excuse me, I thought it was just weird how all this is playing out, because this isn't the first time that something has happened to somebody dealing with Nikki, because that other girl got beat up and some people ran in her house and beat her up. She almost died.
Well, when you mess with Nikki, her fans come after you, man.
Let's see.
I think, you look at Nicki fan base, you look at Beyonce fan base, Cardi fan base. They fan base is vicious, man.
Well, see, the thing about I like Nikki is the only one I've seen, because I know how the Beehive. Because me and the Beehive, we got a love hate relationship going on, but we're gonna leave that alone because I don't need that beef tonight.
All
But
right, all right. I hope you got your spray. You got to spray it out the
right,
way.
like, I don't want no beef tonight. But like Nikki, hers, they actually attack people. Like bro, they really be coming after folks. I just don't understand. Like, bro, what's wrong with y'all? Why do y'all do this? All for somebody that you don't even know.
See, they think they know Nikki, so they like, you know what? Let me just attack you for a minute. Nikki, I need you to praise me, let me know. And I don't believe she personally condones the violence. I just think it's fact that the fandom of these people are just crazy. If you look at most fandoms nowadays, people just attack you for anything. And you have to remind them, hey, it's not that serious. You don't need to put your life in jeopardy because at the end of the day, she's not going to jail. You're going to jail for assaulting somebody. Over the years, her fan base has attacked numerous people. So has Cardi, so has Beyonce. I just think that, man, it just gets crazier and crazier the things that people will do for a celebrity. And as opposed to silencing people, I think that it is very, very harsh. But as we know, time and time again, celebrities do try to silence people and other people try to pay people off. That's how the business has been for decades upon decades. And those practices are, coming to light, for example, like with Bill Cosby. When Bill Cosby did those things with those young women, which some people don't, well, talked about my friend about this recently, and he said, I think that's kind of harsh. And I told him, I said, I just feel like it's the truth. You pay some of these people off, then they break the confidentiality of that contract and they still get paid and you still screwed.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that's just the way life goes, man.
Um, so I'm kind of going to disagree a little bit on the Bill
Go ahead.
Cosby standpoint.
hmm
So, and it is, I already know it's going to be a little contradicting, especially what I just said, right?
hmm
So, with the Bill Cosby situation, I'm not going to go all the way into the little whole political thing about, the NBC, he trying to purchase that and everything. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is nobody came forward until somebody got paid. That's one thing. I do think something happened with that woman because she got paid. I mean, I know a lot of time when people settle and they get paid, it doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty.
Hmm.
But at the same time, he probably just paid you just to make this go away because it still looks bad either way, whether you did it or not. It still looks bad on you.
I definitely agree with you. And my whole thing about it is, I don't agree with him whether he did it or not. My whole issue was the fact that I'm in school, for criminal justice. And
Right.
so that's one thing, that kind of did bother me a little bit is the fact that they made a payment to try to silence him, which could be an indication that he did it and to try to make it go away. They got their money. Now they're getting more money and more publicity due to the fact that that happened, which also kind of broke the contract. But on the flip side of that, if that did happen, that really did, that's an indication of something where something needs to come to light, where the fandom had to bring that up because if he did it, it's wrong and it's very, very wrong. Which another topic I know you want to talk about rape. You should not be forcing nobody to have sex with you going after
You
because if
should.
somebody wants you, they'll let you know, hey, come get some yams. If not, just admire the bakery from afar away and go find somebody else. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Bro, there's plenty of free fish in the sea. There's plenty of people that would just do it just to do it. Like,
Yeah.
like there, uh, I don't want to laugh at it because it's crazy how people do take advantage of them. But also to jump back to the Bill Cosby thing is I read her deposition of what she said happened, and for her to go into detail about it, she said that it didn't happen once; it happened on four different occasions, and all four occasions was when she kept going to his house. Now, I don't want to. I'm not victim blaming or anything, but bro, after you said somebody raped you once, I don't see how he did it three more times when you went to his house.
Hmm.
You can't convince me
Yeah.
to keep coming back here after what you did.
Not to, contradict myself, I also do think it comes to the fact that if you do trust an individual, you'll continuously do something. But the flip to that is eventually you would have to know like something is wrong. You should tell somebody and realize that, me personally, I try to, stick to one woman. I don't try to go out every fish in the sea because the thing is we live in such a society where everything is being recorded. Everybody is talking and taking a picture. If you post something online, if you do something, it can instantly get recorded. And people can always take your words out of content.
See, I think that's also a thing too, because we do always jump to believe people like
Hmm.
as soon as it comes out.
Hmm.
We never actually, you know, that's why I say I don't always want to just say I believe that this happened. I always want to, I just want to watch how it play out, so then I can make a judgment. But most of the time, I know a lot of people just, as soon as somebody say he did this, and then we automatically believe him.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, man, we could have added to this to the list. The Johnny Depp situation.
Hmm. Oh yeah, let me tell you. When I first heard that, I was thinking like, no way Johnny did that. But at the same time, I was thinking like, what if Amber is telling the truth? And like you said earlier, it's so hard. And I think back to how the courts used to work at a time, tying things in. It used to be guilty until proven innocent. Now it's innocent until proven guilty. Look at the damage that that did to Johnny Depp's career. To now, you're looking at Amber's career, and DC almost is thinking about pulling the plug on her because you saying that a person did this is almost you instantly it's almost a career killer to somebody, and it takes a lot to prove that person is innocent, and then when that person innocence is proven, the defamation of character has caused that person to lose the standing that they once had, and they have to build up. Whether that person had endorsements, whether that person had a promising future in life, it can all get taken away.
You're right. But the thing about it is, didn't she get like I think when they went to court or something? Wasn't she recorded? And she it was like she cut his finger off, and she was the one that was recorded being
Yeah,
abusive towards him and
yeah.
stuff.
It came out she was being abusive towards him.
So I never understood. Like, so why did he get fired uh, from the Fantastic Beasts? I like that. I like that movie, to be honest. I love the Fantastic Beasts, but why did he get fired and not her?
Because it just came down to the simple fact that everybody believed that it was him in the wrong instead of her. That's the sad thing about it. Is the fact it is the truth is so twisted and you have to unravel the truth. And sometimes at that moment people rather just believe what an individual says. And sometimes, I like anytime a situation happens, I like to have the whole evidence. And even then it takes a while to examine all that evidence to make sure this person is telling the truth.
Yeah, I just always thought that's like because when you think about it, Johnny Depp been doing this for like 40 years, and then we everybody just turned their back on like no studios will work with him. Honestly, I think what should happen, I think this is Tyler Perry time to shine. This is his time to, add a real star, add some star power to his company and bring him in. Nobody else gonna work with him. Might as well add Johnny Depp to your list.
Yeah,
Because we don't know. Like I said, we don't know what happened. I don't think, but I don't like that one person is being penalized and the other person is just good. That's not right to me.
hmm
Especially when we both see. I mean, when we all see that y'all both. Well, we didn't even see him. We saw her. We just heard what she said, but we definitely heard how she was acting and things that she did.
hmm
So I just thought it was kind of messed up how only one of them is being penalized and the other one is still able to make their money. Especially Johnny
Yeah,
Depp. Johnny Depp been doing this for 40 years, man.
I guess they feel like if this man's doing it, then this person. Matter of fact, that's how society we have been. That's how we've been trained. As soon as a person says that they're the victim, we side with that individual until all the facts are in. And we need to start,
I don't think.
as a society, start looking at all the facts first before we penalize. Because now, that this information, has come to light, like with Johnny Depp, for example, his name got cleared. Now, because you cut off all these sponsors, just he want to work with y'all now. Who could pick up Johnny Depp
You're
and
right.
make him into a bigger star? That's just how it goes, man.
That's messed up. Now I'm missing out on the Fantastic Beasts because because this nonsense. You a Harry Potter fan, man?
Yeah. I actually made a joke about that in one of my older videos. What's your Harry Potter house?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor, Raven. Okay, okay,
Gryffindor.
okay.
I'm still Gryffindor.
Always Gryffindor.
People gonna talk junk like Ravenclaw or something. Like, bro, nobody cares about them. Nobody
Now,
care about
some
them.
people do. The Ravenclaw are people. I'm close with most of them friends. Friends were trying to bring me over to Ravenclaw. I got a funny story about that. So I think it came down to a little bit of female jealousy. So last year, one of my female friends had got me like a Gryffindor hat, a Gryffindor jacket and pants. My girlfriend was like, "We do not bring witchcraft into the house," and so she threw my stuff into the fire. I was like, "No, why?
She did it for real.
You think I'm joking? I'm serious. Like this is real." So then I asked her, I'm like, "Okay, Star Wars." She said, "I'm fine with that a little bit." I so tried to make sure. So let me move my lightsaber. Let me move my stuff out. And I'm just like,
I'll be honest. Star Wars. Uh, it's hard for me to get into Star Wars. It's too much. I guess dialogue.
Are you a Star Trek fan then?
No, no. Like, cause I could watch Star Wars, but when they start getting real political, it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, bro, I just want to see y'all fight. I want to see the lightsabers. I want to see Anakin choke somebody.
All right,
Just
how about Marvel? Marvel versus DC.
do I have to pick one?
Nope.
Oh, okay, because I don't want to pick. Uh, so,
The good, the bads of
so
each.
if I had to choose,
Hmm.
I'm not a live action person.
Hmm.
And because I'm not a live action person, I'm more of a, the anime and cartoon. I'm gonna go with DC.
I think that something that everybody always says: let DC handle the animation and let Marvel have handle the live action.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh, like most recently, I'll say for me, DC wise, the Judas Contract, Justice League War, Dark, the Bat Family Teen Titans that they did. I think those were pretty good. Um, I can't wait to see what they do with Hush. I kind of want them to make an animated version of Civil War. Being that I read both of the Civil War comics, I kind of felt that Captain America Civil War was missing a lot of key factors.
I don't like Captain America. I think he sucks. Actually, I feel the same way about Captain America that I feel about Superman. I think they're just too OP, man. They just like
Well,
why?
my whole thing about the big white and blue, I think that it's gonna take somebody bringing something new to those characters to make them different and to make them feel unique. Like, let's look at DC wise, the Joker, for example. Every person who has portrayed the Joker has brought a different version to life. Give me one second. Let me
I'll
look
take
at
time.
this. Make sure I got this right. I kind of had some notes to decide what I want to talk about, and this was kind of it. So you had the maniac, the comedian, the psychopath, the anarchist, the gangster, and the clown. Look at every incarnation that we've got of the Joker from the 90s to now. Each of those men brought something different to the character, whether we liked it or disliked it. It was a different version of the Joker. Now let's look over to Marvel, like Iron Man, for example. When Marvel was building their live action universe, they started with Iron Man. Think about it. Marvel we're close to shutting down in the 90s. They sold the rights to the X-Men, Spider-Man. They sold Hulk. Who do they have left? The Avengers and the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and a couple other properties. Like I told my little brother, for example, he was like, the Avengers super powerful. I said, no. I said, back in the day, in the 90s, it was all about the X-Men. I said, now the Avengers are household names. Iron Man is a household name. I said, back then, I said, people did not like Iron Man. It took a lot to build them up.
Right. I'm not gonna lie, because I never read an Iron Man comic book, and I never heard about Iron Man until the first movie came out. Now I
Hmm.
don't know if that's Robert Downey Jr. is doing because he's great at being an Iron Man. Because after I watched it, I went back and I read it, and then I was watching the '90s cartoons and everything, and I was like, damn, they really nailed it with this one person. But when you watch others, I mean, it's really not so much. Because wasn't the guy that played Captain America? He was Flash in the Fantastic Four, not Flash, the Human
Johnny,
Torch.
he was, yeah, Human Torch. Yeah.
Yeah, he was that guy. I thought he did horrible as that, but I mean, I didn't think he did too bad as Captain America. It's just
I think Chris Evans really stepped up as Captain America. But since you did say that, let me ask you this question. Do you feel like nowadays, I don't want to say a curse, but do you think that whoever plays the Human Torch now is always going to be set up for failure and then success? Chris Evans went from Human Torch to Captain America. Michael B. Jordan went from Human Torch. to being Killmonger.
I guess. I guess that can be a good thing.
And going back to Robert Downey Jr., he pretty much did capture the essence that was Iron Man. And I
Okay.
think that that's pretty cool. But whoever they make Iron Man next, I think that person will have a hard time. Another character that I think of, Spider Man, I feel that Toby, I felt that Toby was the Spider Man. I felt that Andrew was the better Peter. And I feel that, dog, what's the new kid's name? What's the new guy name? Can't think of his name. That's the new Spider
I
Man.
can see where you're going with that because man, like I thought in Batman, uh, Ben Affleck was a better Batman,
Hmm.
but I thought the other guy that was in the Dark Knight, he was a better Bruce Wayne. If that
Hmm.
makes sense. Actually, I wasn't even to be honest, I wasn't expecting Ben. I don't think nobody was expecting Ben Affleck to actually do that well. Like a lot of people didn't like the Batman versus Superman, but I liked it simply because Ben Affleck surprised me. It's like, bro, we weren't even expecting this from you, because he's notorious for being a sucky actor. So when they booked him and he did it, I was like, okay,
I think that he did a good job. I think that was one of the saving graces of that film. I actually read that comic. That was like maybe like the second or third comic that I ever read. So I felt like, yeah, it was okay. It was good.
well,
You
see,
also,
I think the problem is with a lot of people. If you read the comics, I think that's who were more disappointed with the comic book readers rather than people who were just coming just to watch the movie. They would say it was a pretty good movie. But then when you listen to the comic book readers, they nitpicking everything. Because I didn't read none of the comics. I just I watched the movies first, and then I go back and read it, or I do my little research later. But when I was watching the movies, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I thought they did pretty good as
how,
actors.
how did you feel about Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel. I haven't seen that one, honestly. I still haven't seen it. Actually, you'll be surprised. I just watched Black Panther for the first time last week.
You know what? Better late than never. The late Chadwick Boseman, he
Right.
did a phenomenal
I haven't seen
job.
Infinity War either or anything with Thanos. Because usually what I do, I wait till all the fuss
Hype
dies
dies
down.
down.
Yeah, I want to be able to watch it without everybody just giving an opinion. I don't want to be tainted in anything. I do the same thing with my food. If you tell me what's in it, I'm probably not going to eat it. But if you just put it in front of me and tell me taste and do all that good stuff, I would eat it. That's just how I always did things. Like I don't want nobody to ruin it for me, so I ignore all of it and I won't watch it until later on when it dies down.
All right, you said you're an anime fan, right?
Definitely
Have you ever seen Food Wars?
love Food Wars, man. My boy, he
All
gets
right,
down.
since you said you rather eat anything, so if someone was to serve you one of his octopus dishes, would you eat it right away?
I didn't hear that. What was it?
I said, so if someone was to serve you one of his octopus dishes, you mean to tell me you wouldn't question what's in it?
If he served it,
Yeah.
no, I'm not eating that shit.
I'm about to say,
Yeah, no, not if he did it. No, because I know him. No, 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 definitely not. Now, if one of the other ones, if one of them did it, I would.
no, if
But
Magomi or
it's,
Erica
it's,
serve
it's
it,
just it's
yeah,
just the way that he presents it, though, man. He be like, "You want to try this?" Nah,
oh no. As soon as he did
no,
that,
no.
I would definitely not. No.
But yeah, man, I'm big food. I'm glad you brought up food wars. A lot of people don't bring up food wars when they talk about anime. It's always those three. The One Piece and Naruto and Dragon Ball. Just I think people just too fixated on just those.
I'm gonna definitely save that with you for anime talk.
Okay, all right,
But
that's fair.
definitely, Matter of fact, give me 1 second.
Because I'll be honest with you, I hate talking about those because I don't even feel like they that good. Well, I like One Piece, but I just don't feel like they're that good. But we'll say that. Let me know when you're ready.
Matter of fact, hold up, I got it. I'll make sure to say that. All right, I'm good. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and talk. So
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen one of my first videos I did actually did on Anime Talk, and me and one of my close friends, Fritz, man, we talked about how anime came to America. It went from Sailor Moon, Dragon Balls, and now we talk about the old guard, the old Trinity, from One Piece, Bleach, Dragon Balls, and then you later had Naruto come around, and now you got Boruto. I feel that I'm a huge person when it comes to anime. I remember I got in high school. My friend told me, he said, "Look, you need to watch anime outside of shonen anime if you really want to see what else is out there." So I said, "Cool." I said, "Let's see what's out there besides shonen." And I've seen, Overlord, Chameleon, a couple other, too many to name right now, because then I'll be talking forever.
I got you. So I'll say the first one that I've seen that I came across. I mean, I think we all came across Sailor Moon first because that was on
Mhm.
Toonami first.
Mhm.
But it was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mhm. Another
Those
one of
those were
my
my original.
favorite.
Right.
Smile Bomb, one of my favorite things.
So my thing was most people, well, because I'm in some anime groups, so a lot of people be thinking about just anime for today, and they be naming those as top anime. And I was like, well, the only reason why you know about Dragon Ball and Bleach is because they're coming back out. Like they have stuff now. But the shows now they look good aesthetically, but they really suck. Because
All
I was
right, give
watching.
an example. Give an example of one that you think that sucks right now.
Oh, Boruto just sucks in general. Let's just throw that out there.
All right, let me say it like this. I hate to say it, but the manga is 10 times better.
Oh, you one of those.
I'm not really one of those. It's just like usually I'm the type of person I prefer the anime over a manga, or sometimes I really prefer live action over the manga and everything. I mean, I'm like that even with books. Like first, I'll watch the live actions or I'll watch the anime, and then I'll read the comic. Then I get this. Then I end up becoming disappointed. Boruto, I just pick and choose when I watch that to catch up because I think he sucks. Um,
Well, see, I'm gonna leave Boruto alone because we can go
no, no,
on
we
and on.
no. We're gonna talk about him for just a little minute.
Well, see, the reason why I want to
Let's
leave that
start.
alone is let me tell you how it started to suck for me. Because it sucked from the beginning, but I'm gonna tell you why. It started with shit Naruto Shippuden for me.
Hmm.
One, because Shippuden started off very good. I thought they had something with Shippuden, even though they did a lot of Naruto chasing after Sasuke, and you know how they did that.
Sarada. I mean
Yeah,
Sakura. My bad.
oh, she's so useless, man. But we're gonna leave that alone.
We leave
But
now. That's the only thing we leaving alone. I don't want nothing useless on my channel today. Bye bye Sakura.
okay, my bad. All right. We leave that. But see, the thing about it was, I would get up to the war arc.
Hmm.
I thought it was wonderful because like you showing everybody coming up. You showing Choji and Shikamaru. You showing everybody from different villages. They doing their thing.
Hmm.
And as the war is going on, I thought Toby would be final boss. But then it was like they had too many shot points for me. It was like, aha, it's Toby, but it's really Obito. Then it was like, aha, no, it's really the real Madara. And then it was like, aha, it's not no, it's Black Zetsu. And then uh, Kaguya. I just thought they they killed it with all of those. Like you should have just left it at one because the Kaguya and the Sage of Six Paths art, it came out of nowhere. Right, we didn't see like there really was no point of that arc unless you wanted to do it if you wanted to do it separately as a movie and then go into Boruto like that. But for it to be part of the Shippuden, it was just too much, especially
Yeah,
at one time. Like, how do you have 8 final bosses in? Well, they stretched that thing out to like 300 episodes, but how do you have that many in that short period of time without even describing what's going on?
if you would have asked me this and we would have had this discussion a week ago, I would have disagreed with you. But now I agree with you because me and my homeboys, we talked about this and this is how he broke it down. He said, I want you to look at it like this. He said, let's start with Toby. He said, with Toby, Toby could have been redeemed and saved because Naruto would have eventually got to him. He said, okay. He said, then you got to think about Madara. Madara would have been like, nah. He said, they would have fought Madara. You would have thought, okay, how could they beat Madara? Because really think about it. Madara really, for the most part, beat every single body. The only reason why Madara lost was because of Black Zest. So if you would have ended it with Madara, you could have almost left the show on a cliffhanger. You could have left it as, how do we overcome this legendary Uchiha? Because they
Right.
struggled to beat him. Then you look at the Black Zest betrayal. I kind of felt that because we knew that Boruto was coming along the way, I was like, okay, like, is she going to be the villain that they're leading up to face in Boruto series? But then when they
Right.
brought her in, it just seemed like, okay, there's almost really nothing left that you can really do with the story. Fast forward a little bit later, you have Naruto the Last, where they bring the Eye of the Moon, which I thought what they should have did was bring the Oskusi clan as the bridge between Shippuden and Boruto to see how this clan becomes a threat. And I think we also lost out on the fact that even though they try to make these side stories, I think that we needed to spend a little bit more time with Naruto's generation before we got to Boruto. Because
I,
how this
I, I agree because
because how
it's just a big time skip to Boruto, and it's like, bro, we missing out on so much. The story,
and
it seemed like everybody was. It seemed like more than one person really did write this. It was like
yeah.
you came in and you wrote something one day, but the next person got an idea. He was like, you know what, we could do this a little better. We're gonna write it like this.
So I don't know if you follow the manga, but Kishimoto is actually back. He's now writing Boruto. But jumping back a little bit, I think the biggest reason it comes with the fact that I kind of felt like with Boruto character, I kind of say should have been a little bit more Gohanish because our generation grew up with Naruto. It's almost like seeing somebody resent one of your best friends. Your best friend been through crap all his life. Now
Mm-hmm.
he got a job making sure you got a roof over your head, you fed, you got this and this and this and this, and you mad. And you mad. Like, some people, me myself, I don't always have my father in my life. I could relate to him to a some level, but at the same time, I look at it like your father is making time for you constantly. He might not be there every single moment, but you literally have your father in your life, and you whining, you
Yeah,
complaining, and I think
but
with that,
he has a beef that shouldn't even be a beef.
and it's
Like
like,
he has like a teen. I don't want nobody to feel no type of way. He has a teenage girl outlook on things. Like, you know how when girls start turning to teenagers, they start beefing with their mom for no reason.
yeah, and it's like Sadara isn't acting like this, and it's just like, so you mean to tell me the whole clan thing got switched between the Senzu and the Chiha? So now Sadara is the happy one, and Boruto is the moody one, and I just felt like it made no sense. Because like go back, you look at his father. His father was the prodigy. His father sacrificed himself to save the village. Naruto grew up, went through some crap, and I felt like even the road to Naruto Boruto the movie kind of fast forward things, even though the anime tried to fill things out. It just came down to the fact that Boruto as a character is annoying. We like Gohan, for example, because it's like
Why you keep
okay,
bringing Gohan, man? Why you keep bringing
because
Don't do
like
Gohan because I'm so bad how they did Gohan, man.
look, I know they did my man's Gohan wrong, but at the same time, I just look at the fact that I felt like he was designed wrong. Like for me, a perfect example right now of how you introduce a sequel character and somebody that's like a hair, I think of Yashahime, which is Inuyasha's daughter. They're finding how they're doing that type of journey.
I still haven't
But
caught that one. I do want to catch it, but I will say this about Inuyasha, just to deviate just a little bit. Inuyasha has the most legendary and the most classic endings. The ending song I have ever heard in my life, man. It's like no matter what, you probably went to sleep early on a Saturday, but you always woke up and you heard that song. And for some reason, it was always on full blast every time you woke up. That's my song. I'm sorry, but go ahead. Go ahead, finish what you're
I'm
saying.
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You got me thinking about half of your time. Let's move on from
Yeah, man,
Boruto.
'cause it was just every time you wake up and the song is blasting. It was like, bro, the TV wasn't this loud when I went to sleep. But that's all I was thinking about. Nostalgia, man. I was just thinking about, about them old times when Inuyasha used to come on.
The good old days.
But yeah, I agree. Like, I just I think Boruto and Naruto, it could have been better because it started off so well. Now I don't get into the whole who could be who thing that everybody else be doing. I just like, bro, it's never gonna happen. So who cares? That shouldn't be a thing. Naruto universe gonna lose, but that's not. We shouldn't even be thinking about that.
I think the thing that we should be thinking about is how did they really drop the ball and how can they fix it? And I feel like we really are headed into a Boruto Shippuden because
I
I
hope
think
not.
that's what most people really want them to do because they feel Boruto is crappy. But I personally think that if you give him Shippuden at least this early, it's not going to do well.
Well, isn't it just gonna be? Because then they kind of did a preview like when it first came on.
Well, they kind of foreshadowed Boruto versus Kawaki.
Yeah, that thing. But I don't know, man. I mean, I keep trying to give it a chance, but it's just so it's random. Like it doesn't even follow. There's no actual arc. It just pops out. It just pops it to you, and that's what that really bothers me, especially with a lot of anime today. They have stories, but the stories don't make too much sense.
I think
Like,
they more so try to do like mini arcs.
yeah, see, and that's not cool. See, like when I watch anime, I don't know. Have you seen Black Cat?
I've read it. I've seen some of the anime. It
Well,
always
you
seems like it's hard to find it. I like the storytelling of that. I think that's an example of a well-paced anime.
what was that one?
Black Cat, I was saying. I think it's an example of a well-paced anime.
Well, yeah. See, the thing about it, because it has like three different stories in it, but
Hmm.
they all tie into each other uh, at the end, so it all made sense. I just don't see how they do that with the anime today because they be having so many different ones and too much going on that it never because a lot of things get left out without explaining. and I kind of think that's weird, and that's why I just uh, like because I'm still gonna watch it. It's just I'm gonna always have that feeling of it don't make sense.
I
I'm just
definitely
gonna
feel
watch
you
this just
on
for
that.
action instead of just for the story.
Well, think about a story that's almost seems like it's a never-ending story. One Piece.
Oh yeah, they ain't never gonna get done. He ain't never gonna find it, man. he ain't never gonna be the king. But I like it. It's
Um,
slow. It's
have you
really
seen?
slow. Actually, I feel like we're still in the '90s with One Piece.
Moving forward to this generation, how do you feel about My Hero Academia? Uh, I don't know if you've heard of this. That time I got reincarnated by a slime. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Hunter x Hunter, the series that always seems to reboot.
Okay, so I really think that those would be the new Power Three. It
Hmm.
would be My Hero, Hunter x Hunter. I actually like Black Clover. I love
Hmm.
Black Clover, but I do like that time I got turned into a slime.
Hmm.
Are they? Did they pick that up again? Are they gonna start?
Yes, they are supposed to be picking it back up,
Oh,
and
okay,
I
because I
cannot
was gonna say
wait.
if you're gonna end it like that, I don't like it then. But yeah, if that's because they ended it with a cliffhanger, and I don't like those, man.
But look, that's my slime. I rock with that dude.
Uh, and that ain't the Shield Hero.
Oh yeah, I can't believe I forgot about Rising of the Shield Hero, man.
Yeah, and I say I definitely like that. I like My Hero because it's not just focused on Midoriya.
I think that's an interesting takeaway. When I first saw it, I thought it would be the Midoriya show, but as you look at each season, I feel like I'm watching like the anime version of a Justice League and how they're building these heroes together.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is, and I like that. I do like that. I'm just waiting on Midoriya to finally get it instead of crying all the time. Because it's weird to me that he cries so much. He doesn't cry when he gets hurt. He cries just because, and that's kind of annoying. But everything around it is actually it looks good. Action is good. Story is good, and we actually seeing them. I'm talking junk about Midoriya, but we actually get to see him grow. So I actually like that. But instead of them just giving him powers just out of the blue, I don't like that. That's why I don't really care for Dragon Ball anymore.
Well,
Because oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I guess I can actually. Well, I'll let you finish, and I'll spoil a little something that's about to pop up on my channel later.
Oh, you got one coming up about Dragon Ball?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk first, and I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, well, see, so with Dragon Ball, I like again, it's like Naruto. Like you like how the story starts off in the beginning. Well, throughout Dragon Ball was great. That's good. I liked how Dragon Ball Z started. We learned about Gohan, you know, the Saiyan race. We learned about all these things, and then I'm just gonna skip, and we're gonna get to the Cell Saga. That should have been Gohan's time to shine. And this is why I'm upset because when they ended, Gohan was that guy. And then comes the Buu saga.
Hmm.
And then, it's still centered around Gohan becoming, stronger than everybody. And Goku's there, Vegeta's there. And they're just they're basically there for support until Gohan reaches his full potential. But then they switched that completely when he went against Evil Boo and Gohan got sucked up. And that's when they switched it from being about Gohan. Now we're gonna revert this back to Goku. And this is where I started my problem with that because I thought it was weird.
Hmm.
But then Super comes along and they just started doing, they started being extra. Like, okay, I kind of get the Super Saiyan God thing. I think that should have been like the ultimate transformation. Like when you're in the tournament of power, they could have made a way for that to be the ultimate transformation. But how do you go from each arc, you get a new version of a saying? You get one new version of a saying. Like, because you got Super Saiyan on Namek, Super Saiyan 2 on Cell Saga. Boo, you got your Super Saiyan 3.
Hmm.
So how did we get a Super Saiyan God, a Super Saiyan Blue, and Ultra
Super
Instinct
Saiyan
all in one
Rose,
arc? Huh?
Super Saiyan Rose,
Yeah, like, bro.
the forgotten and non-canon Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, and I was looking, I was like, bro, y'all just doing stuff at this point, because why do you need three?
I think that Dragon Balls honestly lost what they wanted to do. Unlike Naruto going from Naruto to Boruto, it's almost like, Goku is one of their flagship boys. You can't make Goku look weak, even though you're trying to pass the baton to his kid. It's like they never knew what they wanted to do with anybody other than Goku, like, for example, Vegeta. For me, the most defining moment for Vegeta is when Beerus slapped his wife and he punched Beerus. Outside of that, everybody else has have their character moments throughout the year, but it always just comes down to Goku. Earlier I alluded to something I'm supposed to be talking about on my channel coming up with anime talk. What more power up do you need to give Goku?
You
He
don't need
needs
nothing.
he needs nothing else. Like, I was reading a forum on, one of the anime groups. I mean, somebody was saying, what if we gave Goku Sharingan, or what if we gave Goku like stance or something? Goku needs nothing else. The only thing that Goku needs to do is become maybe a god of destruction. Outside of that, Goku is pretty much done unless he's fighting across the multiverse. And
I don't.
outside of that,
I thought it was weird for them to do it like that too, because like when you look at it, how can you go up from here? You're God, like you're going against God of Destruction. You're going against Jiren, who's basically more powerful than the God of Destruction.
hmm
So when you just adding stuff, see, I just hate adding things just to add. Like if you already got something good, you don't need to add more to it.
yeah, and it's like the power and the hierarchy has, changed drastically from when it first started. Like, it started off, we all thought Shiran was the most powerful in Dragon Balls. Then you got Beerus come along. Shiran's like, oh my Lord, Beerus.
Right.
Shiran the big. Then you think about, okay, the angel's a little bit more powerful. Then you look at the Grand Priest, then the Omni King. Now you're gonna tell us a couple years later somebody more powerful than the Omni King, and I feel like Dragon Balls is almost like kind of like in that bind to where what are you gonna do? Somebody else has to be the face of the Dragon Balls franchise to let it shine. Like Goku, honestly, I want to someone do like with Hunter x Hunter. Let Goku go away a little bit. Let
I
other
wanted
people
the same
build.
thing. Like at the end of the Cell Saga, I thought that's when he got his roses. That's he should have been done. Like if you wanted, matter of fact, if you wanted, you could have did it how they did in Otherworld when they was having the the tournament, martial arts tournament. Then that's when I thought that was a multiverse thing.
Hmm.
Like when he was going against Panko and all them people, and I was like, well, that should have been it right there.
hmm For me, Goku's like Brock Lesnar. You should bring him in for special. I mean, granted, I don't want to really see Brock back in the ring now too much, but it's like we're always gonna love Goku. Let somebody else shine.
Well, see, my thing was, and to get back to Gohan, how did Vegeta become more powerful than Gohan? Actually, we're not even gonna say it like that. How did Vegeta match Goku at any point? Was always crazy to me because he was always a step behind. So how did Vegeta skip being a Super Saiyan God and then going all the way to blue?
Because of Whis.
Yeah, but you know, okay, so excuse me, Goku went to three.
Hmm.
Vegeta didn't get to go to three, and he didn't go to God. You skipped two forms just from training with Whis, and it was only 6 months.
So that's the other thing. That plus outside of, Ultra Instinct, what is the current power order and what is the thing like? So Goku has gone all the way. Let's just look at 1 through 3. So Goku has been in Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta's at Super Saiyan 2. Gohan Super Saiyan 2. Trunks and Future Trunks is what? Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2.
He's two because remember he turned two was when they became the big bulky, almost like Brawly
Yeah.
looking saying.
hmm Yeah, then you got Broly's own Special Saiyan transformation. So that really does pay the question like, not everybody should require Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan, blue. Like, let Krillin, for example, let Krillin go to 2, let Vegeta go to 3. Like, the man's been around long enough to give him a boost. But somebody told me recently, I gotta do a little more research into it, was saying that the creator of Dragon Balls honestly hates Vegeta. That's why well, I'm saying, well, Vegeta gets his moments, but they said, nah, he really hates Vegeta. That's why Vegeta gets smacked around. Well, what about Gohan? What about Krillin? I said, God forbid they give Yamcha a power up, but
Oh,
because then
Yamcha.
it because it
You
makes
know,
it.
not to cut you off, you know who I always thought was underrated? TN.
TN.
Yeah, TN is definitely underrated. TN is
hmm
that guy.
I mean, I feel like Piccolo's almost underrated because it's like Dragon Ball has a beautiful world, but at the same time, you constantly have to add character after character after character just to match Goku's power level or get somebody stronger. And I feel like either you remove Goku or you have two different arcs going on. Goku just realizes if I want to fight stronger opponents, let me train Khalifa, let me train Kel, let me go to this other universe to get stronger. That way, main Earth,
I mean,
you can
not even
bring
that. What
Cell
about
back.
Goten? Like, we don't even know what an adult Goten would look like. Goten is a forgotten character. Like, we got a future Trunks. We don't have a future Goten.
Oh yeah, you're right, man. How long has it been since we've seen Goten? God dog.
But actually, this future Trunks and Super, I don't like that Trunks. That's not the Trunks that we left off with in the Cell Saga. This Trunks is I don't know who that guy is. We gotta throw him away. We want the old one back.
Yeah, man. You're right.
But
We have not seen
Goten has no
Goten.
story at all,
But
and he's
then,
a
yeah, because in the current timeline, only Gohan is older, and I feel like go ahead and age up Gohan and Goten. Then you got Pam, which I doubt they really want to do something with her because since
yeah,
GT's
fan was
not
fun.
canon,
But
then I guess I'll pose the question for the comment section: who y'all think more annoying, Pam or Boruto?
I got a better question: Pan or soccer? I'm kidding.
Oh no! Oh, matter of fact, okay. So, oh Lord.
I'm sorry, I had to throw her in there. I hate her. She's useless. Tell your viewers
Okay,
she's
okay,
useless.
okay. So a better. So all right. So a better question for the viewers. So y'all going against Dio. Y'all going against Frieza and Hisaku. They tell you you in a group with Sakura, Pam, Boruto, and let me see, throw somebody else in there. Let's see. Let's say Khan from Bleach, and they tell you sacrifice the most useless. Who would you sacrifice?
You shouldn't have thrown Conan from Bleach because he doesn't do nothing.
Who should I have put in?
Yeah, we're going to throw somebody. Let's throw in Yamcha. Let's throw Yamcha.
Yamcha. Okay. So just so my viewers can know, I think I'm gonna vote Sakura because
Definitely vote.
We vote with soccer. We vote with Fergie. So that's why she's not one of my waifus. I'm making a video with that later. Yeah.
Well, see, I want people to know why we think so, because you know how her fans get, and that's weird to me that she has fans. But you know how her fans get. They want to say all the things that she can do. That's not why she's useless. It's the fact that she can do things, but she won't. That's the issue. That's what makes her useless.
I mean, my thing is when it comes to soccer, it took going from Naruto going to Shippuden for Sakura to become useful. Like I had this argument where somebody was saying who was more useful, Rin or Sakura. I said Rin because I said even though Rin died, I was like Rin still at least had the skills and everything before. I said she trained. She took her she took her training seriously and not sorry I had to grab my charger.
Oh, you can.
She took her training seriously.
Well, not only that, Ring. Hell, the whole war was really. That's when you think about it, that's what it really came down to. The war was about her. Toby started
Yeah.
all this because of her.
See, I brought that, and they said so. So they were like, they also blamed her for, Naruto's current problems. And I said, okay. I said, if you want to go there, then I said, Sakura problem too. I said, she bullied this man.
Yeah, like bro, she wasn't. What Sakura was. Well, I ain't gonna cuss on your stuff, but she was a B word, man.
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna let you say it.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't mind.
she was a whole bitch, man. Like you treated this man like trash, and that's another thing with Boruto. How did we go from Sakura to Sakura and Sasuke? That man has never showed any interest to her whatsoever. It never happened. He never seen her that way.
It took the whole show, the last episode, for this man to finally touch you in a positive light.
Yeah, and just to acknowledge you,
But the
to accept,
bright
matter of
side
fact,
is,
I would say to accept her as an equal, even though she only got that one punch in throughout the whole damn fight. This is why she useless. You the strongest person in the world, but you only hitting people one time. That's all you got, and that's their claim to fame right there. Yay, I hit this person one time. That's
Sakura
why she
saved
useless,
Naruto.
man.
So I also brought up the fact that I'm like, okay, Hinata saved Naruto life too against pain. I think I personally would have been more mad if he would have ended up with Sakura. So say he didn't end up with
Yeah,
Hinata, who would you have paired Naruto with?
I don't think there was anybody that fit him more than Hinata. Actually, I think Hinata would have killed herself if he would have ended with anybody else. Uh, I mean, who else liked him?
Um, dog, what's the girl name from Naruto Ninja Classman? Snow. Um, dog. Outside of that, I probably have to consult fan fiction to figure out who to pair him with.
Yeah, like bro, this is a. I don't know. I don't know nobody else that liked him.
All
But
right,
see,
let's talk.
here's the thing. This is why I call Sakura useless. And I'll say I would pick Tenten over Sakura. But you gotta let me explain why. We watched Tenten lose every single fight that she was in. She completely sucks. She really doesn't have no special jutsu. She's really she's really just there. But at least she tries. Sakura, not Sasuke. Sakura has all this ability. You heal people. You're strong. You know you're kunoichi. You're all that stuff. You got all that going for you, but you will still stand there and watch me fight. If I'm getting jumped, if say you and somebody is jumping me, and she is just gonna sit there and scream my name the whole time and watch me get beat up, and then she's gonna heal me. Then she gonna send me right back out there to get beat up. At
Hmm.
least Tenten is gonna come in. She's gonna lose, but she's gonna try. She's gonna fucking help me.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, she is,
isn't gonna help nobody.
and not coward in
She just
fear. The only person that I could have thought of, and this always gets people, especially non-anime fans. I ask people, what do they think of Haku? If
who?
Haku, the one that was beside Zabuza, the first arc.
Oh yes.
But
Oh. I thought it was a boy.
yeah, it's a boy. But I'm saying that
Oh.
if Haku was a
Oh, okay, okay.
girl, I could have seen her and Naruto being together.
I can see that. Seeing how he chased after Sasuke, I guess he wouldn't mind Haku.
Outside of that, at one point, I did. I would have said I would have shit Naruto with Tamari, but you knew from the beginning, from the tuning exams art, that it was going to be Shiki and Tamari.
Oh yeah. I would have been surprised if it wasn't. Like they was like a perfect match. I guess we could throw in Eno, probably.
Um, my only thing with is she would have had to change her whole mindset towards Naruto. I felt they could have worked. Even though my homeboy didn't agree with me, I just said that if it wasn't going to be Hinata, anybody but Sakura,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Eno would have worked.
anybody but Sakura or Trump. But yeah,
Yeah, I can. Eno's kind of useless herself, but she's useful at the same time. Mm. I mean, she's good for her team. I
hmm
say that. She's perfect for her team. But if
hmm
she was paired with anybody else, yeah, she would. She wouldn't have been useful.
so if you would have rewrote Naruto as a series, who would you have put Naruto under for him to have a better team dynamic? And who would you have made his teammate?
A team dynamic.
Hmm
I say give Naruto Shino.
hmm
I think they would have worked well together. And you know what? Give Shino and Hinata. Honestly, I just think it would have been better for them two to end up on the same team. Or, matter of fact, give me. No, I can't. I was gonna say Neji and Hinata, but they're basically the same, but kind of different. Actually, Naruto wouldn't be my choice as a main character, to be honest. You give me a squad of Sasuke, Neji. Give me Sasuke, Neji, and Tenten. No, Tamari. Give me those three.
The show
That's
would
a
have
killer.
been the show. I think would have been drastically different. And like if Sasuke was the main character, that would have been different.
It would have, but when you think about it, Naruto got the Nine Tails Fox in him, so
Hmm
you already kind of got that evil side. So he could have easily been the Sasuke of the situation.
If Naruto would have defected as opposed to Sasuke, I feel that he would have been a little bit more dangerous
Which
because
is good.
which is like if we honestly look at the pairing between Sasuke being trained by Jiraiya versus Naruto being trained by Orochimaru, I think that you would have dealt with a more deranged psychotic. You would have dealt with a more unstable Naruto. We think about it. Orochimaru training him, the Kibi still hating him. That man would have been dangerous.
He would have. I mean, but when you think about it, Naruto's power is. I mean, even when you look at it, he oozes evil. Like when you do the Nine Tails cloak, and you know that form that he changes into, and he's so destructive, he would have did good as you know. I mean, just the fact that he's a Jinchuriki in general.
Hmm
So, just a matter of fact, if you want to do it like that, instead of Sasuke taking over Orochimaru, uh, Naruto is going to take over the Ten Tails.
I mean, I could have seen like instead of Orochimaru getting to him, I could have seen Obito coming to Naruto. I could have seen Orochimaru and Obito semi clashing, and I could have seen the Akatsuki taking him away, and Shippuden. I could have seen opening up with Obito telling Naruto, "Let's make the world fall into despair. You got to take out Gara." Because think about it, Gara would have still been a little deranged
Yep.
because Sasuke would have been like, I'm gonna still beat you, but I ain't trying to be your friend. He might not have been the super type of Avenger type of character. He probably would have said like, "You too weak for me to kill. I'm not even gonna waste my time killing you." So then you would have had Naruto fighting a deranged Gara. The only other Jurikens that would have had a semi-positive mindset would have been Killer Bee, Yugato, and Fu. Everybody else, yeah, it just would have been a crazy. Yeah, it would have been a crazy show. Because I think the only person that probably could have carried the series outside of a Naruto or outside of a Sasuke, I could have said Shikamaru.
I can see that. Actually, if we're gonna do it like that, I keep forgetting his name. But Killer B right hand man. What was his name? Not
You
Killer
talking
B.
about
Uh,
Dari?
Dari. Yes,
Hmm.
I can see him doing one. Like I can see him as a main character.
I think that before we got to Boruto, another idea that I had at one point I thought about the sand, but I said let's either do lightning, mist, or stone as like that intermediate series to Boruto, and like you could have did like a mini series or something, build a story around a ninja from a different village, and then bring Boruto in later, so we could have been like, okay,
Well, see,
a
that's why I was
little.
like with the ending with Kaguya. That's why I said you probably should have made that part a movie with her. Because, like I said, the her and Sage of Six Paths that just came out of you came out of nowhere with that. You killed Naruto and Sasuke, and then you're just gonna bring them back, but now they're basically gods. That was kind of lame. That was especially when you think about what type of show it is. Like we're a show about ninjas and ninjutsu, but now we're adding gods and stuff like that. See, it just went all the way left.
I kind of felt like towards the end, I was kind of watching like High School DxD when you brought in the
Yeah,
angels
yeah, yeah. That's
and
good. Yeah, it was like, bro, you like y'all just throwing something together at this point. That's how you know that was going to end. I think that probably should have ended that way, but mm,
because the way they got the show set up, how you end the show is you're gonna be fighting the Skuski clan. That is how you end Boruto. Because if you make something bigger than them, it adds the fact, like you said earlier, why bring Kaguya in? You could have either ended the show with Obito or Madara, and I felt like it would have been perfect to hint at Kaguya and seeing Naruto and Boruto and Minato fighting against Kaguya, and then I felt like the show could almost came full circle.
I mean, right. And then you could have brought in Black Zetsu with the betrayal and everything, and then bringing Kaguya back and everything. You could have did it like that. Then you would have something to build Boruto off of. So you're building it off of nothing, and then now you all of a sudden, because I hate when you make something like you saying that these two are gods. There's nothing more than them,
Hmm.
and now you're bringing it to a universal type thing. It was just like it's like with Dragon Ball. It's like you're doing too much. If you just went on with the next person and then gave them a real story, you wouldn't have this problem. But that was just That's why I say it kind of sucked. I like it, but it sucked.
I definitely agree with you on that. Matter of fact, the next time we talk, definitely want to talk a little bit more about Naruto, Boruto, a couple other animes, and maybe a couple of the celebrities.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for having me. I told you my first time doing one. I am excited. This is fun. I like it. I
No,
want to try to do it, but I don't know how to do
no
it.
problem, man. I'll definitely, talk to you about it.
Yeah, so just send me your channel, and I'll definitely follow you and watch your stuff, man.
All right, no problem.
I think you got something good going on here. Simply
Appreciate you.
because you put
Appreciate
me on here.
you. No problem. Definitely can't wait to have you on again, man.
All right, appreciate it, man. So how do I end this thing? Oh, okay, I see it.
I'm about to end it.